I've been obsessing over this Beatles song lately, and I just can't get it out of my head. You know how sometimes a piece of art just grabs you and won't let go? That's me with I Am the Walrus. Okay, so let's talk about John Lennon. The guy was a master of messing with people's heads. When he wrote this song, he wasn't trying to create some profound masterpiece. No, he was basically giving a big middle finger to all the people who were overanalyzing Beatles lyrics. It's fascinating how something created to be meaningless can end up meaning so much to so many people. The walrus might have the spotlight, but the Eggman, he's got potential. He could be anything. It's like choosing between being a rock star or being a blank slate with infinite possibilities. See, Lennon later realized that in Carol's poem, the walrus was actually the bad guy. He's the one who tricks and eats the oysters. So here's Lennon, thinking he's identifying with this cool, enigmatic character, only to find out he's basically called himself the villain. And isn't that just the most deliciously ironic thing?
Perfect.
The Beatles weren't just pushing boundaries with the words, they were basically rewriting the rules of pop music arrangement. You've got this crazy mix of orchestral elements, rock instruments, and this speak-singing thing that Lennon does. And can we talk about that ending, with the radio tuning and all those voices overlapping? It's like auditory chaos, but in the best possible way. The whole song is like a dream you can't quite remember when you wake up, but you know it was wild.
All right, let's roll up our sleeves and really get into these lyrics. I know, Lennon said they were meaningless, but come on, we can't help ourselves, can we? Let's start with the iconic opening line. It's like this weird circular logic that somehow makes sense and no sense at the same time. And then you've got lines about sitting on cornflakes and, fishwives. It's like Lennon was playing some kind of psychedelic word association game. But you know what? Even in this nonsense, there are these moments of strange clarity. Like when he mentions a stupid bloody Tuesday. I mean, who hasn't felt like that on a Tuesday?
Now, if you thought the song was weird, just wait until you see the visuals they paired with it in the Magical Mystery Tour film. It's like they took the acid trip vibe of the song and cranked it up to 11. But what's fascinating is that the visuals don't really explain anything. If anything, they just add another layer of weirdness to the whole experience. It's a perfect visual representation of the song's chaotic energy.
Okay, so despite Lennon's insistence that the song means nothing, fans and critics have been coming up with theories for decades. Some people think it's a commentary on capitalism. Others see it as a critique of religion. There are even folks who've connected it to James Joyce's Finnegan's Wake. But you know what? I kind of love all these theories. Even if they're not what Lennon intended, they show how art can take on a life of its own. It's like once an artist puts something out into the world, it doesn't really belong to them anymore. It belongs to everyone who listens to it and finds their own meaning in it.
We can't talk about this song without addressing the elephant in the room, or should I say, the tab of acid on the tongue. The 1960s counterculture and the rise of psychedelic drugs played a huge role in shaping the music of this era, and the Beatles were no exception. Lennon himself admitted that LSD influenced his songwriting during this period. But you know what's interesting? The drug use doesn't explain away the creativity. If anything, it just provided a new lens through which Lennon could view the world and express himself. The surreal imagery, the stream of consciousness lyrics, the blending of reality and fantasy. All of this speaks to a mind exploring new frontiers of perception and creativity. So, after all this, we're back to our original question. Is it better to be the walrus or the Eggman? And you know what? I don't think there's a clear answer. The walrus might seem like the star of the show, but let's not forget, he's also potentially the villain. The Eggman, on the other hand, is this blank slate full of potential. Maybe the real answer is that it's best to be a bit of both, to have the confidence of the walrus and the endless possibilities of the Eggman. At the end of the day, maybe the real magic of this song is that it resists any final interpretation. It's a song that keeps us guessing, keeps us coming back for more, trying to crack its code. And in doing so, it becomes a mirror, reflecting back our own thoughts, fears, and fantasies. So, whether you're a walrus, an Eggman, or just a confused listener, remember, the beauty is in the mystery. And isn't that what great art is all about?